I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
This is another request for Wes. Thank you so much for your generosity. Can't even talk right. The wire's messed up. I'm screwing up all the place. You know what makes sense? Because I'm talking about the hunger. I'm hungry for attention. I'm hungry for food. I'm actually waiting for food. So if I ever do this video, and if anyone wants to request any other type of reviews, re-reviews, topics, reactions, what have you, you just send the request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below. I'm gonna keep all that in there because fuck it. We're doing live, fuck it. The Hunger is the review for today. And you know what? I had heard about this film. Good friend of mine saw it. He wasn't a big fan of it. I just see why after watching it, because this is directed by Tony Scott. I love Tony Scott. Tony Scott, may he rest in peace. He is one of my all-time favorite directors. He'd be up there. He's easily top 10, perhaps even top 5. That's how much I really enjoyed Tony Scott. I even enjoyed him more than his brother Ridley Scott. Although Ridley Scott, I love Alien and G.I. Jane and Black Rain. You know, I like Blade Runner. But Tony Scott, I looked at his filmography, I thought he had a better batting average. Because I looked at Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Beverly Hills Cop 2, True Romance, Enemy of the State, The Last Boy Scout, Crimson Tide. You know, I looked at the films he did with Denzel, Unstoppable, which was his last film, and it was a good one. Tony Scott. You know, Deja Vu, I think is very underrated. Taking Up Pelham 1, 2, 3, I actually reviewed that. Man on Fire. Like, the only films I truly disliked, I have not seen Spy Game. I did not like Domino, and I really did not like Revenge with Kevin Costner. A lot of people liked that film, but I was not into Revenge. This one, I gotta say, is more the dislike column. I don't know if this would be a full-on rant, but I just wasn't big on this film because you know how you have the phrase style but no substance? That really does fit with this movie. It's a gorgeous looking film, I will say that. It's just I think it was Tony Scott's first full-length film. He did some short films that I never saw, but this is his first full-length, came out in 1983. Sorry about that. It has beautiful cinematography. The lighting, the color scheme of blues and such, which at this time was done with actual lighting, not filters. Like nowadays you just go into a computer, you filter it out to make it look like blue or yellow, and it just looks fake and phony. Here, if you had to do that, you had to do it with certain lighting, certain things you had to put in to change the color scheme. I mean, it just, if you don't do that, this makes it at least look a little bit more authentic and gives a little bit life. So the colors, the lighting scheme is more striking. And I'm watching the first 10 minutes of this. I'm like, okay, wow, this looks really good. This looks like like a cool music video in a way with its cinematography. It's definitely establishing a mood, and the story's a little bit eerie. And it's like, okay, there's David Bowie and this girl, and they're vampires, and they feast on these two, and it's intercutting with these monkeys going crazy. I'm like, fuck, this isn't a prequel to Outbreak. Dustin Hoffman don't come and go, we're deep fucking shit. We're already in deep fucking shit. But not quite. Because after that, there's really not much story to this. I mean, this movie is hour and 40 minutes or so. Really, the story, David Bowie, he's in it for only like, what, 20 minutes or so? He's not in it for as long as I thought he would be. And he realizes that this vampire gig is not all it's shaped up to be. Because yeah, you got eternal life, but you don't have eternal youth. And he's now aging. He's now aging rapidly. And the queen bee, the queen bitch of the vampires, she's sad about it, but she's like, well, I can't do anything about it. So he goes to meet Susan Sarandon, who works with these scientists. One of them is Cliff DeYoung, who I've seen in quite a few films, including this movie from the 80s called Pulse, which I rather enjoy. He's been in a lot of other stuff too. They're scientists specializing in the effects of rapid aging, utilizing blood in primates and monkeys. I forgot what the type of monkey it was. It wasn't chimpanzee, it was a different type. And so you see that David Bowie's getting more and more rapidly aging, and then he becomes so old, and he's trying to talk to Susan Sarandon. She's like, I'll be 15 minutes, but she takes like 2 hours, and David Bowie gets pissed, because even during that time, he's aged more rapidly. He goes home, talks to the queen bee. I forget the actress's name, so I'll just call her Queen Bee, just because. The queen of the vampires, however you want. She seemed like the boss of the situation. She's crying, but she's like, well, I can't do anything about it. And David Bowie kills the student of studying the cello. Maybe drinking her blood will do something. It doesn't. So the queen bee, the character's name is Miriam, now that I remember. David Bowie's so old. He's like, please kill me. He's like, I can't. There is no release, my darling. So he puts him up in the attic with a bunch of other, I guess, vampires she turned. Like other people she turned that got rapidly aged. So she has a collection of these mummified, moaning corpses in the attic. They're pretty much corpses. You see some recognizable faces. Willem Dafoe has a blink and you miss a cameo as a guy near a phone booth talking smack. He's in it for like 2 seconds. Dan Hedaya, that's a character after you've seen a bunch of stuff. Again, you see he plays a lieutenant looking for the missing student, the cello player. And then pretty much Susan Sarandon goes there trying to find David Bowie. Instead finds the queen bee. Queen bee seduces Susan Sarandon, bites her. They have sex. She is being affected. She comes back. What the fuck? Queen bee captures her, makes her kind of get starved, so that when Cliff DeYoung's looking for her, she inadvertently bites and kills Cliff DeYoung. Then she's sad about, goes to Queen Bee. She cuts her own throat and then makes the Queen Bee drink it from her. I guess her own form of suicide. But that doesn't work, so she's taking him up to the fucking top of the attic. And then the mummified corpses come up and they're like, fuck this shit. It looks pretty decent, like the effects of the old age makeup and these sort of walking corpses. And they're kind of pushing the queen bitch over the balcony. She falls, and for some reason, can someone explain this to me? Why, when she falls off the balcony, she then ages rapidly too? And then, which again, I don't mind the effect, but why does that happen? Why does she age rapidly? I mean, it's not as if, oh, she hits sunlight, sunbeams. No, it's just, do vampires just not like high falls? If you fall from a big height, then you just age rapidly all of a sudden? It doesn't really explain it. You just go whatever, I get. You're supposed to just go whatever. She just they push her off a fucking... I don't know why it took them this long to rebel and revolt. To get out of their fucking coffins in the attic. Again, it's sad that David Bowie's not in the film much, because I was actually liking... You know, his performance was fine, but then it's like, okay, he's out of the movie, and now he's got all this makeup, and then he's out of the movie completely, and even at the end, it's like, well, it could be honestly played by anyone, because you can't tell because of the way it looks, and the voice is supposed to be so old. And yet again, like, they push the queen bitch over the balcony, but somehow that makes her age rapidly. And then the others, they crumble to dust. So, okay, do they crumble to dust because she dies? But no, the queen bitch doesn't die. Because in that scene is... Now, Susan Sarandon is like the new queen bee, and she has her own fucking plot she's making at this penthouse. And the queen bitch is now in the attic in the coffin. Which I guess, in a way, hey, just deserts. She gets what she... her comeuppance. But so, okay, so if she didn't die, then why did the others crumble to dust? So, because she aged rapidly, the others crumble to dust? Did I miss something here? I must have missed something. That's why I'm sincerely asking, what did I miss? Falling from a big height makes you age rapidly with this queen bitch, where she wasn't aging before? And apparently she hasn't been aging at all? Just these other cohorts that she turned and age rapidly? Or you think, okay, you have this whole plot where Susan Sarandon works with dealing with his blood to fight against rapid aging. Is she going to find a cure to vampirism? Or is she going to have some kind of serum? Or she's going to have something? No, none of that shit. So the plot is a bit confusing to me as to why certain things happen. The acting, I wouldn't say is bad, but you don't give a shit about the characters. I mean, there's a lot of style. Again, the cinematography, the way things are framed, the way certain things are edited. There's a push into Susan Sarandon's tier, and then intercut with, apparently she was at a funeral. I don't even remember what the fuck the funeral was for. Was it for her dad? Was it for her former boyfriend? Was it for... I don't even remember if they said it. I don't even remember if they talked about it. Just some fucking funeral she's at. I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's kind of what I do. Why should I give a shit? And with the story, there's like enough story for a short film. Like, there's enough story here for maybe like a 30-40 minute short film, not a full-length feature. Because if I repeat what the story is, I'm aging. David Bowie says I'm aging. I go to Susan Sarandon. She's ordered with scientists of blood. You made me wait too long, bitch. I fucking went home. I tell the cello student I still age rapidly. Queen bitch said you're going up to the attic with the other fools. Oh shit. I'm in the attic now. Susan Sarandon comes by. Where the fuck did David Bowie? Oh, I'm gonna fuck. We're gonna do a lesbian porn. And boom. Bing bang boom. I bet ya. You're changing. Cliff Dion gets pissed. Where the fuck are you? Oh, well, queen bitch made me starve, so I'm going to eat Cliff Dion off camera, by the way. That kill was done off camera for some reason. I don't know why it was done off camera. You would think the first time where she has to take another life, including someone, especially someone that she cares about, that's the one that's off camera. You would think that'd be one that had the most impact, right? But no, that's the one that's off camera. I don't get that. I don't even remember seeing Cliff Dion's dead body. It might have, and I might have been in a daze of boredom, because that's another thing. This film's just fucking boring. It wasn't scary, wasn't creepy. I was admiring the visual aesthetic, but there's barely any story. I don't care about the characters. Some of the parts of the plot's a bit confusing. She just mummified after the fall, and it's like... Also, when you get the thing, why don't you try to kill the queen bitch? Why do you hit yourself? Why don't you try to make her bleed out? She's the one who's turning you, and she's the bitch. Like, Susan Sarandon has this little thing around the neck that has a little blade in it. She hits her own neck, I guess, to give her blood to the queen bitch. I don't know if she was trying to kill herself. I don't even get the reason. Like, if that's the case, why don't you try to kill her and try to make her bleed out? Might not work, but that would make more sense instead of you trying to hit yourself. And if it was suicide, it was a weird way of trying to do a suicide, especially when you're kissing, your blood's going to her. I don't know, just, that was a weird thought process to me. And at the end of the day, I just say, nah, I wasn't a big fan of this. This is more of a rant than a review. I think Tony Scott did a lot better. He never really went back to the horror realm. Maybe he knew this isn't my cup of tea. I'm more into action, which is where he was frankly more comfortable with. Action or even thriller with like Enemy of the State, which had action in it as well. Or Crimson Tide was more of a thrill, but again, there was some action as well too. But this, great visuals, cinematography, the acting's not that bad, great color, like the lighting, the technical aspects, but barely any fucking story. I don't see why you should care about the characters. Not enough to fill up a 90-minute, 100-minute running time. And altogether, it just came out rather boring. Nice style, no substance. That's just my take on it. With that said, if you disagree, that's cool, but teach their own. I think Tony Scott just has done a lot better. And there's just a lot better vampire films. The original Fright Night, The Lost Boys, From Dusk Till Dawn, Fright Night Part 2. Hell, Lost Boys the third Lost Boys I would rather watch than this. Just that, honestly, had a more interesting story to me than this. John Carpenter's Vampires I'd rather watch than this. And, you know, the list goes on. So, Vamp. I'd rather watch Vamp than this. Yeah. Dracula Bela Lugosi I'd rather watch than this. Okay, and then some. So thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.